And I have Mr. Aguilar there. So you are the mom interpreter, is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. Well, in that case, is your client present? Did someone else make arrangements for a mom interpreter at council? Anyone? Well, we did need your services, sir. I just wasn't sure. And this gentleman, and you're able to translate from mom to English directly?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you know who retained your services, sir?
For the mom interpreter?
Yes, sir.
The interpreter's office, Your Honor.
It was the interpreter's office who did it?
Yes.
Your
There
Honor.
we go. Let's go ahead and address this case first. Let's allow this gentleman to be on his way. We just have the one case, correct? All right.
Case number 19 CT 1737 Esperanza Godinez Lopez.
All right. So I'm gonna turn you over. I'm gonna have these folks get close enough, at least. Perhaps, hopefully at the lectern it'll be close enough. You'll be able to hear them.
That should be okay.
All right. All right. All right, sir, go ahead and unmute, please. There we go. All right. Let's try this. So you ready to interpret for the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Good afternoon, Ms. Esperanza Lopez.
Matsakakyo, Señor Esperanza Lopez. Buenas tardes, Teteya. Good afternoon.
Perfect.
Well,
Nope, that doesn't work. All right. Ma'am, you're here for a charge of driving without a license?
Señora, matsule tsalu como ot 7 chilo en manejar minti hont licencia ot qi. Yes.
Your attorney has informed me that you wish to enter into a plea agreement with the state.
Ma tsaqamant abogado ne que tabletun toxqamana hontiole tsaluch chukul ka fiscal chun son acuerdo tsalu.
Is that correct?
Ash peteniol echo. That is correct. I have submitted the documents. Your Honor, if the interpreter may request to move the microphone perhaps a little closer, it's hard to hear.
You know what
hard to hear the judge or hard to hear the defendant?
It's hard to hear the defendant.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to turn around and point the microphone at her. There we go. Does that help at all? Ask her if she can respond to you, and perhaps you can hear her better. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Go ahead and ask her and see if she can hear you, okay?
Señora, tumpan tabin ayol hal? Yes.
And
Yes.
You can hear her better now the microphone's pointed that way?
It's better, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, I'm just going to hold it here. All right. What are the terms of the plea?
It is a withholding of adjudication, $100 fine, and cost.
Ma kushtuh ke matsul shal salukan halaj tonsun tukshbin chakil tiort pantqa balak el hon $100 tmult shalch pantchakil salu. Nochbin. Should I present the documents that I have on me at this point?
No, that's not necessary.
No, ni ailtich.
You want to accept the plea deal that your attorney has told me you wish to accept?
Bueno, matzat amant abogadech al tiehon tiol blatach blaten tok shalo. Pa toch tuits tunjit aceptar ne toch ihal. Yes.
All right. State, can you confirm that those were the terms?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ma tshkumante ana saluken tuka ka gobierno sukenchit so ton qapanten toch chuits chpanten toch chuits.
Okay. And please raise your right hand.
Mano derecha con saun.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm? Go ahead. Do you solemnly swear or affirm?
Ba sent mana jakiliol hal ne
To tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
ton sagt amane jakilish yol chit so ashtum la yol toch mana verdad tuts le hal okpe. Yes.
Put your hand down, please.
Mr.
Mr. Cinco, please inquire, but go slow enough that the interpreter is able to translate for you, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Matchon ambelte Sr. Rosingo Khaled and Sakama Alkiet Yol Belage Akiet Kushwitz Kobintir. Okay.
Can I please have your full name and date of birth?
Qamanse Akiet Bia ish Alkiet Api Bia Chakil Apellido ish fecha de nacimiento.
21 de mayo de 84.
Tepa
A 21 de mayo de 84.
May 21st, 84.
You have been charged with no valid driver's license.
Ma kushtuets que mats otzule saluk porque antit licencia don't manejarnach hatsentil. I did not have.
As to that charge, do you understand that the maximum is 60 days in jail?
Tiol belage lo mas khala kushone tohtse bala kak bala 60 días chma patselnik itir.
No.
Yes.
To that charge, how do you wish to plea? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Halo kitsen tiol blet tokskman tslei hal. Hashtoktil nia hashtoktil moment tagblet tokstsawen hal.
Pero no contras licencia, no está con marzo, hasta 20 de marzo has licencia.
I did not have a license, but will get one soon. I believe this will be March 26 or around that date.
How would you wish to plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Tselshniketich al kitsen yol tokstman Ashtok ay culpable chitso monia ay culpable is muqamin tahbl toksawen yol chitok tiol hal.
How can you confirm?
I am guilty.
Do you understand the terms of the plea agreement?
At tsohun acuerdo ma band khalech chun ke akhleit salu ma batselt niketich.
No.
Yes.
Have you read and signed a copy of the plea form?
Bala obacht kein tiol bl u is balot okt firmetich u khal.
Mr. Interpreter, can you say date of birth right here?
My apologies, Your Honor. Can you repeat?
Can you tell her write her date of birth where I'm pointing?
Yes. Señora, aunque fecha de nacimiento hatum zahtik en juez hal.
No, continue, but I'm going.
I don't know how to write it.
Can you tell her to tell me what it is?
Amansha fecha de nacimiento te juez.
21 de mayo.
May 21st.
What year, 84?
¿A qué año? 84?
De 84.
84.
Mr. Cinco?
So you've read and signed a copy of the plea form, correct?
Entonces, matzokt firme tich u khal al tich acuerdo chitzo matzelt nik tich.
No.
Yes.
Do you understand all of the rights listed on that form?
Atqal derechos teyatun lecht kust wits u khan khama patzelt nik tich.
That you will be giving up by entering this plea today?
Oktsntok shon teyat yol matzok shtiyol tus lehal yan metzen tich qaderecho jet kust wits u khama patzelt nik tich.
No.
Yes.
Are you entering into this plea because you believe it's in your own best interests?
Matzentzok shon tiyol tus lehal chet como masma tumlal yol te teyaho. Patrash patrulen yol.
Arse.
That's correct.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs or alcohol?
Pala ati hun droga machitu na khala mo hun alcohol mutikhil.
Mente oye, ochente, withdraw sugar.
No, I don't do that. I don't do drugs.
Are you taking any medication?
بل أدخل ترمين شيء مديسين شيء من تي.
عشان تي
No.
Do you suffer from any mental illnesses?
بل أدخل تيابل توية توك من تي.
انت
No.
Have you discussed the terms of this plea agreement and the rights you are giving up with your attorney?
Opa yol natuurlijk het abogado tegen alkeetsen yol tuts u halo is atjekate derech opa yol natuurlijk.
or
Yes.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's advice?
Bam patoch tweets alke yol matsakhamante tont abogado. Yes.
Do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, you may be subjected to removal or deportation as a result of this plea?
Alket yol yol belage qania ciudadano hon shal saluto Estados Unidos bala hakach la het shal ton leit saluto nam. Ma batselt nikitir. Yes.
Do you understand that if you are deported as a result of this case, it will not be the basis to withdraw this plea?
Qamat es la het ton leit nam salu. Entonces mitsinti tomel ton tchashpach yol después ton sinchachachil duts urch ma batselt nikitir. Yes.
Do you need any additional time to discuss any of this with counsel?
Para tahbele ton sahko mas tiempo te ton tiol na ticht caso tu at abogado?
what
Yes. Yes.
Yes, you need additional time, or
Sir, would you please ask the following question? Does she have any questions for her lawyer right now?
Para at pregunta halo tet abogado bashmunti.
أدنى ثقة حكت شيء ناس خلق تأكل كابش هاو ناس تنقى بشات نتقوم سقام لسينس هذا.
Yes, I'd like to discuss the possibility of being able to do something about this because I will get my license in a couple of months or so.
Okay. And do you wish to have the plea go forward today? Or do you need more time to talk to your lawyer?
Bueno, tahbele ton tokshoma tiola tots lehala ikts maqyol tir ish mutahbele ton tsaqo mas tiempo ton tiolna tukat abogade.
Pero lo más que voy a خلق كابش هاو ناس يخلق شيء خلق كابش هاو بريات أصلا تيجي تنفتح باسبور بشات tiempo كذا لسينس.
Well, if I can get a couple of months then, so by that time I will be able to get my passport and also my license.
Respectfully, ma'am, this case is from last July. I cannot give you any more time.
Then si paciencia hal yantit sintomal ton mas tiempo chkom la shaqihtok shlen caso hala.
لا
We can either do today, or I can set this matter for a trial in the near future.
Achet son khiol hal ton tok stiola slay momento ton tok stiola tu slay halo iktsma band khiol ish qatsin ton tre to huis después.
And you could-
مهر أوقات عشان شقان عن تيبر تون تنتشحت سيرات القاس.
Well, in this case, I think I will be able to pay what I should pay.
And when I say last July, I mean July of 2019.
Your Honor, the interpreter's having trouble hearing.
I'm sorry, I said this microphone's turned around. Well, I said, I was clarifying for the record that when I say this case is from last July, I mean July of 2019. I have to please translate. Yes, thank you.
Don't pinte que al que yol obant chun ka ahleit sukench mo ka fiscaltis entonces hatcher taqeh yol hulkento 2019 entonces il sentir ton tok yol hal.
And so I have to bring this case to conclusion.
Entonces il tir ton terspant tip yol to hal ex atio bant tuts ur.
So you can either accept the plea deal
لو كنت
today.
سخان تسوه هناك
Nech.
So you can either accept the plea deal today, or I'll set this matter for non-jury trial. but I cannot continue it any further.
Bueno, katahbele tsach sun kakatsok yol tichtkas exmasas anhal pero ha tsach sun shatkhio no hol abogado mo altan tiol ticht tun sun spant yol ticht hol schau mo kap schau hal pero alcheta khiol bits u khamatsok bi ticht tukh hal yam tun tukh hal. And I'd like the case to be resolved today.
Do you have another question for your attorney before we get into this?
Balat hunt pregunte tet abogado hal ishqanti.
حتى يغاوشتن واحد خيولا نتيجة واحد تمت فاقة شكل كوكياش والمشتة سكنة تنزاه قوش.
Your Honor, the interpreter would like to ask for repetition.
Sure, go ahead.
Señora, por favor, repetir en tiolantish, claro, claros in yolna, por favor. All I want to say is that I want my case resolved today.
Okay. All right. Steve, do you have any more questions?
No, Your Honor, the state tenders the plea.
All right.
Machaqante, señor Rosinko, athunt pregunta, chinti mas liya pan tento tuisqa fiscal hal chet yol qobintir.
Okay. I have reviewed the citation
Obaquen alche ukhot shqon tetil shal.
and find that there is a sufficient factual basis in venue.
Ma houts knet tuts ke hash chilen yolch ake ilo bant exent course tuts
I've considered the policy
ma baqken in chaqil tiol bel
and find the plea to be true, knowingly and voluntarily entered.
ish maqbin matsel khniktir ke alchet yol bel matsok shal ay makubshim tiola voluntary khontiola matsok shtlei.
Therefore, I will accept the plea
Khatsnti matsok aceptar tiola hal.
and post sentence as follows.
Qobintir alchet castillo shaltentes.
Withhold of adjudication,
Ma el alchet chet bant
$220 in court costs,
Your Honor, could you repeat the last part? I think interpreters having trouble to understand.
$220 in court costs,
Il tirton chet $220 tir talo.
$100 fine,
Alchet mul schalten telch ma kurs lo con la 100.
$50 public defender fee,
Khachtin chet $50 tir alchet tir abogado salud defensor público.
$50 cost of prosecution.
$50 in chet tir fiscal mo alchet ukhman. Actually, what's the total amount?
$425.
The interpreter was not able to hear, Your Honor.
$425.
475 lo halas in halal dollars. Okay, I will pay today.
Okay, good luck to you.
Oxentesh Kriol, buena suerte today.
Please step over there to be fingerprinted.
Thank you for your
Por
service.
favor, chiya tu abogado tentesh penhal.
Thank you for your services today, sir.
My pleasure, Your Honor. Have a nice day.
You too. Okay, that works. All right, Ms. Maurer, if you don't mind, just bear with me. I've got quite a few folks in the courtroom. I'm going to go ahead and try to address some of them first, okay? Thank you. All right, Mr. Verderano, good afternoon.
I have 20 and then 1384, page 2 of that. Tricia Manuelos is coming for the court to change the plea.
Okay.
We plead no contest with count 1 of possession of marijuana and 2 grams. State will make an announcement to make the plea of count 2, which is no cost. The terms on count 1 are withhold adjudication and court costs and actual deliberate time to pay the costs.
All right. Ma'am, are you prepared to accept those terms at this time? State, can you confirm that those were the terms?
I had a little trouble hearing. I have the possession of marijuana, withhold all costs, 6 months probation, marijuana
hold on.
education course?
I've got Mr. Brodon was shaking his head no.
Yes, Mr. Rosinko, we spoke this afternoon. I spoke to Mr. Stewart this
Yeah.
morning. He indicated if my client completed the marijuana education course, which she did, I sent you a copy of the certificate this afternoon, that the probation would be removed and it would be a withholding cost.
Okay, I do see the marijuana education course, and I did get your email. However, I could not read it.
Okay.
The picture was too small. Do you have a better copy you could send?
Sure, I can show you.
Here. This is rotating camera.
There we go. All right.
Can you see it?
A little closer, please. I can't
Oh.
read that small.
I think the judge can verify that what it says.
It says, it's a good idea. It says certificate of completion has completed all required work for this course, marijuana education. Got a score of 84.
Yes.
Good job.
Okay, then that's correct.
Right, and what we did is probation was to shall terminate upon completion of this course. The course has been completed,
So there's no point in having probation.
Yes, I do see. I do see that.
Okay, and then here's the marijuana card.
Yes, there you go.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I would just point out, sir, this is easier if you're in the courtroom.
Yes.
Just throwing that out.
I agree, and I realized he wasn't going to be here, so that's why I started
No,
snapping
it's,
pictures. And
it's
sending
okay. Just throwing it out there. All right. So, Mr. Rosinko, do you agree to amend the offer at this time to the withholding court costs, no pros on count 2 in exchange for a plea to count 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ma'am, would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right, please put your hand down. State, please inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Want me to do it, Judge?
No, no, it's okay. It's okay. Sir, when you're ready. It's all right, go ahead.
Can I please get your full name and date of birth?
Patricia Ariana Benuelo, date of birth is July 17, 1990.
Just right here, still 6 feet away from the judge.
Okay.
Did you not, could you hear her okay?
Yeah, yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
You've been charged with possession of marijuana, which is a first-degree misdemeanor. Do you understand that the maximum is 1 year in county jail?
Yes, sir.
To that charge, how do you wish to plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, speaker.
No contest?
I appreciate you speaking of it, ma'am. I'm soft-spoken as well, but with the mask, with the technology and everything, we all have to try to work with it. All right, thank you, ma'am. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Did you understand the terms of the plea agreement?
Yes.
Have you read and signed a copy of the plea form?
Yes.
Do you understand all the rights listed on that form that you'll be giving up by entering this plea today?
Yes.
Are you entering into this plea because you believe that it's in your own best interests?
Yes.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs or alcohol?
No.
Are you taking any medication?
No.
Do you suffer from any mental illnesses?
No.
Have you discussed the terms of this plea agreement and the rights you're giving up with your attorney?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's advice?
Yes.
You understand that if you are not a United States citizen, you may be subjected to removal or deportation as a result of this plea.
Yes.
You understand that if you are deported as a result of this case, it will not be the basis to withdraw this plea.
Yes.
Do you need any additional time to discuss any of this with counsel?
No.
Your Honor, the state tenders the plea.
I reviewed the notice to appear and do find that there's a sufficient factual basis in venue. There's not really a factual description on the NTA. It says COI, but considering the allegation is possession of marijuana, charge itself sort of spells it out.
And I'll stipulate, Judge, I've actually gone down and looked at the evidence and inspected, and I have.
At some point, Mr. Rosinko, I think Mr. Barron will tell you one time when he helped me a long time ago when I was a prosecutor and showed me how little marijuana had actually been collected. Another story for another time. However, I do find that the plea has been freely, knowingly, and voluntarily entered. Therefore, I will accept the plea and impose sentence as follows. On count 1, withhold adjudication, $220 in court costs, $50 cost of prosecution, 90 days to pay.
Okay.
And state, you have an announcement on count 2?
Yes. The state would like to announce a no pros in 20 MM 1384 on count 2.
All right, very good. Ma'am, I'm sure Mr. Vernon will explain this to you, but you pay within 90 days. If you cannot pay, make sure you work out a payment plan with the clerk of course, otherwise it will suspend your driving privileges, okay? All right, good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Take care.
Mr. Rosenko, I'll send you a better copy of the documents as well.
Thank you, sir.
No, and I still have a picture of that teeny, tiny little, flakes, if you will. Long story short, possession of marijuana charge, Mr. Vernon did me the courtesy of going to evidence and actually doing his job and checking the evidence that was so minuscule. It barely, he had to put a pen up for a comparison and it wouldn't even fit on the tip of a pen. I still have that photograph.
Have a good day.
Thank you. You too,
Thank
sir.
you.
Needless to say, that case resulted in a no pros.
Your Honor, if we're going in order, the next one will be 19 MM 1704, Mr. Brazat.
All right.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Very good, Judge. I'm here for Taylor's toll fees.
Yes, sir. This is 19 MM 1704. We have specifically set this requiring the defendant be present. Is your client present?
I have not heard from him. I haven't had any contact with him since I've been appointed on this case. And I sounded the balls when Your Honor came to the bench a little bit past 1:30. I don't see him inside.
Shall we try one last time before we proceed?
Do you want me to do
Yes. Just to look outside real quick. Because normally I would give somebody till the end of a docket to appear before I'd issue a warrant, but I know why we set this today.
Yeah, right.
Judge, I'm in the same.
By all means, go look for your clients. I said, under normal circumstances, I always give your clients an opportunity to show up until I get off the bench before I start issuing warrants, but.
No response, Your Honor.
Okay, state, you have a request?
The state would like to request a bench warrant, Your Honor.
Any
Did he
reason?
get the bond that he originally had? Because-
No. Believe it or not, there is a rule of procedure that requires that a bond be at least twice what was previously set.
Then twice. No.
At least.
At least twice. Can I ask for twice? Considering all the circumstances.
Let me take a look. May I ask you, sir, when was the last time you had contact with your client?
None. Since I was appointed on the case, he's never contacted me.
All right. That was back in August. All right. There was a previous failure to appear, but that was back in February. I was convinced to set aside the previous bench warrant.
That was very nice of you.
I thought so. That bench warrant was a $5,000 bond, so accordingly, I'm going to set bond at $5,000.
You said 5,000?
$5,000.
Okay, very good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zaz. Take care. Happy New Year to you.
You too.
Mr. Brown, did you find your client?
No, Your Honor. Oh, it's you here.
This is worth asking. All right. State of Florida versus Jordan Nathaniel Rodriguez, 20 MM 772.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. For the record, Chris Brown. No relation to the court, other than mutual respect. In that new year.
Sir.
Judge, I have had contact with Mr. Rodriguez, just anticipating your question. In fact, the state agreed to an amended offer. We had negotiations back in November, and then he sent a plea, and Mr. Rodriguez was happy with that. I don't have a return letter from him, and I expected him here today.
Well, that's a little different.
Yeah.
Mr. Pizzazz had never had contact with his client.
And now I will say, it was probably about a month ago we spoke. We've had no reason to speak since then. I just said, hey, I'm setting it for.
Sure. Well, let me ask you this. I meant it when I said I don't mind waiting till the end of a docket in case someone's running late. If you want to try to call your clients or have your office reach out to them, and if you want to try to resolve it today, if you are asking me not to issue a bench warrant, certainly I'll consider that as well, because this was not a defendant must be present situation.
Unfortunately, I have to be somewhere in a few minutes, and my office did try reaching him, so I wouldn't ask the court to issue a bench warrant on.
No, what were you asking me to do?
I guess considering if he's had no prior failures to appear, I believe he is not. He offers a non-incarcerative offer, so I don't think he's trying to evade coming here.
Sure.
I would ask the court to continue it to either another plea date or a sounding, and then obviously if he doesn't, if I can't find him then, I'll have to take action.
State, do you have any objection to me setting this for a pretrial conference so I can give Mr. Brown an opportunity to see if he can regain contact with his clients?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Then I'll set this on January 27th at 9 o'clock for pretrial conference. The defendant's appearance is waived for that, but Mr. Brown, you can let me know at that time if you're able to obtain contact with him, and if so, I'll reset it for a plea docket, okay?
Your Honor is very merciful. I will let Mr. Rodriguez know he's lucky if I can reach him.
If you can reach him, and if not, he'll find out that I might not be anymore.
I hope nothing's wrong, really, because again, he's.
No, listen, if you've
Then
had,
I'll say it back.
joking aside, if you've had contact him and he's just not here, who knows? There's any one of a number of things that could delay somebody or otherwise stop him from getting here. If you get contact with him, let me know and we'll set it, okay?
I will.
Thank you, sir.
Have a
Take
great
care.
day. Your Honor, Ms. Mauer's turn.
I'm sorry?
Ms. Mauer's turn.
Well, let me address the folks who are present in the courtroom. Ms.
Do
Mauer,
all the rest for absent.
all right,
That's not true.
okay. Not everybody, but let's go ahead and address some of the folks who are present in the courtroom.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ms. Hall.
Oh, okay. So people who are here.
Yes,
All right,
please.
We can do Percy Bickham.
All right, this is 20 MM 1297. All right, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
All right, yes, ma'am, what are we doing?
Okay, this is going to be a withdrawal of his previously entered plea of not guilty and a plea of no contest to count 1, petty theft. And adjudication of guilt, $150 fine, all costs to include costs, PD costs. 6 months probation with credit for time served. Shoplifters alternative program, restitution to 7-Eleven in the amount of $3.69. And a no trespass at the 7-Eleven on 2135 Miami Trail East, Naples, Florida 34112. And to count 2, trespass and adjudication of guilt, time served, composite costs, and a no trespass at that same 7-Eleven.
Mr. Bickham, are you agreeing to accept those terms today?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, do you agree that those are the terms?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, everyone agrees. So would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead, state. Please inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can I please get your full name and date of birth?
Percy Bickham, 11/22/19.
I will ask you to speak up just a little bit, please, sir. No, keep the mask on, but speak up.
11/22/1970.
Thank you.
You have been charged with 1 count of petty theft, which is a second-degree misdemeanor. Do you understand that the maximum for that charge is 60 days in jail?
Yes, I do.
You have also been charged in count 2 with trespass, which is a first-degree misdemeanor. Do you understand that the maximum in that for that charge is 1 year in jail?
Yes, sir.
To those charges, how do you wish to plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty. Oh, no.
Oh, it's all right, sir.
All right.
You're okay. Take a breath, calm down. If you get nervous or you have a question, you can stop us and turn to your attorney and ask a question. All right, sir? You're fine. Go ahead. Please continue.
Thank you. Do you understand the terms of the plea agreement?
Yes, I do.
Have you read and signed a copy of the plea form?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand all the rights listed on that form that you'll be giving up by entering into this plea today?
Yes, I do.
Are you entering into this plea because you believe that it's in your own best interests?
Yes, I do.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs or alcohol?
No.
Are you taking any medication?
No.
Do you suffer from any mental illnesses?
No.
Have you discussed the terms of this plea agreement and the rights you're giving up with your attorney?
Yes, I do.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's advice?
Yes, I am.
Do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, you may be subjected to removal or deportation as a result of this plea?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand that if you are deported as a result of this case, it will not be the basis to withdraw this plea?
Yes, I do.
Do you need any additional time to discuss any of this with counsel?
No.
Do you understand that petty theft is an enhanceable crime, meaning that if you commit this crime again in the future, you could receive more jail time or prison time, a higher fine, and or a longer driver's license revocation period?
Yes, I do.
Your Honor, the state tenders the plea.
I'm sorry, the probation was 6 months, and does it really terminate?
Mr. Zink, I'm sorry to ask you to do this, but this was charged by capias. I don't have a probable cause affidavit. Can you proffer a brief factual basis, please?
Yes, Your Honor. On July 14th of 2020 at the 7-Eleven located at 2135 Tamiami Trail in Collier County, the defendant, after previously being trespassed from that location earlier in the day, entered into the store and stole an alcoholic beverage from the store valued at $3.69.
Very good. All right. Will you stipulate that if those facts were, as just alleged, were proven true, they would suffice to establish a prima facie case of the charges?
So stipulated, Your Honor.
Thank you. That was the most complicated way I could have possibly said that. All right. So having considered the colloquy, I do find the plea has been freely, knowingly, and voluntarily entered, considering the stipulation and the proffer by the state. I do find that there's a sufficient factual basis and venue. Therefore, I will accept the plea and impose sentence as follows. For the charge of petty theft, adjudication of guilt, 6 months probation. You're agreeing not to petition the court for any early termination of probation.
No, there's not, he can early terminate, just whenever he's done, there's just like,
There's not an, you shall early term, but there's no early term.
Yeah.
Got it.
I delayed it, Your Honor.
But if we tried, we can make this a little more complicated. All right, so let me start again. So for the charge of petty theft, adjudication of guilt, 6 months probation, special conditions of probation are as follows. You must attend and successfully complete the mild host shoplifters alternative program. There's an order of restitution payable to 7-Eleven in the amount of $3.69. You may return to the 7-Eleven at 2135 Tamiami Trail East, Naples, Florida 34112. $220 in court costs, $150 fine, $50 public defender application fee, $50 public defender fee, $50 cost of prosecution. Count 2. For the charge of trespass, adjudication of guilt, time served, you may return to the 7-Eleven at 2135 Tamiami Trail East, Naples, Florida 34112. Composite costs. Correct?
That's not what we discussed.
Isn't it?
No. That's totally what we just discussed. It's gonna be $153 fine or something like that. That's what was told to me. And I was willing to pay that today. And she said, if this is what was told to me, if I pay that, then everything's good.
All
That's
right.
what was told to me.
Well, I gotta be honest with you, sir. I did ask you when the terms of the plea were announced if you were agreeing to accept those terms. You said yes. So which part are you not agreeing to?
Well, I don't agree with all these other stipulations because she never told me any of this.
Hold on, Ms. Hall.
I mean,
Which part of the plea deal?
well, the whole thing is what we discussed about is I pay $150 fine or whatever, and then $3 for the restitution. That's what she told me. I don't know anything about anything else about all this other stuff about $253 and all this other stuff.
Ms. Hall.
She never told me anything.
All right. Ms. Hall, it sounds like you're going to have additional conversations with your client. You did not actually hit the OK button on the judgment and sentence, right? Ms. Hall, are you moving to withdraw the plea at this time so you can have additional conversations with your client about the terms of the proposed plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
The motion is granted. All right. Let's reset this for a pretrial.
So you're gonna step over there and sign for your court date.
And the next court date will be January 28th at 9 o'clock for pretrial conference, okay?
Okay, can I step outside?
Yes, ma'am. I'll go ahead and address Ms. Mauer's case for a moment.
There's, some pro se in here.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Ms. Mauer, thank you for your patience.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
I have two cases on the docket. Do you want them in any particular order?
Nope, whichever you prefer.
I have Jorge Maximiliano Lopez. That one, there's a plea and absentia in the file.
All right. This is 20 MM 946. All right, this is for a charge of voting under the influence. Mr. Sigo, do you have an opportunity to review the plea and absentia?
1 second, Your Honor. I didn't see it before. Let me look again. My apologies.
I actually went over it this morning with Ms. Karimi.
Okay. It was filed today, sir.
Okay. I believe Ms. Creamy did say she spoke with you.
All right. If you need to take a look, take a chance.
1 second.
Review it. Take a look and before I start entering this one. Thank you. Thank you for your patience, sir. I just wasn't sure how many folks are going to need your help today.
I'm sorry?
I wasn't sure how many folks were going to need your help today.
According to Shogun, it's one.
Okay. Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
In Creole.
I just wanted to know who the unrepresented person was.
Okay. I know who.
Yes, Your Honor. It's correct. Thank you.
All right. Very good. And you agree that the plea and absentia is otherwise acceptable. The terms are correct, that the recitation of rights are correct, and otherwise it conforms with our requirements.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Then I've reviewed it and I've come to the same conclusion. I've done so because the terms, if they are there by stipulation, they are correct. There's an attached set of legible fingerprints. It is signed by the defendant before a notary. Is it? Hold on. Ah, there's the signature. It's also signed by counsel for the defense. And that is by way of acknowledging the terms as well as the rights being waived by the defendant. I'm currently reviewing the probable cause affidavit. I do find that there is a sufficient factual basis in venue. Having considered the plea and absentia, I also find that the plea has been freely, knowingly, and voluntarily entered. Therefore, I will accept the plea and impose sentence as follows. For the charge of voting under the influence, adjudication of guilt, $220 in court costs. I'm sorry, $415 in court costs. That's what I've got.
Your Honor, could I interrupt you real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
I apologize. He's actually pleading to the lesser charge of reckless operation of a vehicle, or of a vessel, sorry.
Thank you. Well, State, you need to announce an amendment, sir.
My apologies, Your Honor. In case number 20 MM946, the state would like to amend the charges to reckless, sorry, my apologies. Reckless operation of a vessel. I'm sorry, just have to.
Do you have a statute number? Mr. Sigo, do you have a statute number for our clerk?
Yes, it is. Statute number.
I have 327.33.
That's correct on our end too.
Computer agrees. We're good. All right. All right. So, were you able to make that correction in doing this? Take your time.
I have one twice, and it's not letting me get rid of one. I'm not sure.
Well, that's okay. I mean, should that be?
I clear it out further.
Go ahead. Just make it right. Yes, ma'am. Oh, thank you. Happy New Year to you as well.
Yeah, you get that one back.
Mr. Asenko, while we're waiting, would you mind sending out a request for a representative from probation to come down to my courtroom, please?
Sure.
Thank you. Preferably Mr. Hendricks, because he was here the last time. All right, so let's try this. All right, so starting over, having accepted the plea to the amended charge of reckless operation of the vessel, adjudication of guilt, $220 in court costs, $250 fine, $50 cost of prosecution. Are you fixing that? There we go. All right. All right. 9 months probation. Special conditions of probation are as follows: DUI school appropriate phase, no possession or consumption of alcohol, no entering bars, taverns, saloons, pubs, signs of package stores, no alcoholic beverages in the residence. Subject to random breathalyzer and urinalysis at the defendant's expense. Subject must attend a substance abuse evaluation following a recommended treatment. Adjudication of guilt, if I didn't already say so, may petition the court for early termination upon successful completion of all conditions of having served at least 1/2 of the term of probation. Did I get everything correct? Ms. Bauer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Very good.
And there was also a civil citation that was consolidated.
All right.
I would ask that that be merged and dismissed.
Granted. Did I just make things?
Thank you.
For doing that? She said it was consolidated. So I didn't see it either.
Maybe it wasn't. I thought there was.
No, because we would have seen it in her system.
Then I take it all back.
All right. We'll see you in infraction court.
What was that?
I'll see you in infraction court.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't consolidated. Sorry.
So is it pending somewhere? Hold on.
Must be.
All right, I'll find it.
Okay.
I have another case on the docket. Pierre Sylvester.
Yes. 19 MM 2469. Yes, ma'am.
There's a plea in absentia in the court file, but before the state wanted to approve of the plea, I had to provide a letter from the private counselor that he had gone to confirm that he did 4 hours of counseling. Okay. I still don't have a letter from the counselor. I've talked to her twice. She keeps telling me I'll write it, it's coming, but she hasn't sent it. The best I have is the email I showed him last time that confirmed he did it, but it wasn't on her letterhead.
Well, then what would you like me to do?
I don't know. I guess I just need more time with a waiver to try to get a letter.
Okie doke. State.
Sorry.
It's all right. State.
No objection.
January 27th, 9 o'clock for pretrial conference.
All right. Thank you.
Ma'am, take care.
Thanks. Have a good day.
You too. Bye. All right. Ms. Hall. Are you
No.
sure?
Yes,
Okay.
can you recall Mr. Bickham's case? He told me that he was.
Sure. All right. Mr. Bickham?
Case number 20 NN 1297.
Thank you. I do. I still have it.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Bickham,
Yeah.
listen, this is, your case
Yes, sir.
is, and so you're the one who decides whether or not you wish to accept the state's plea offer or not. Because if you don't, I'll set this matter for trial. You don't
No.
have to accept the offer. We'll be very clear about that.
Yes.
And you should not be pressured. I'm not suggesting, Ms. Hall, that you are.
No.
I'm not suggesting at all, but you're not going to get pressure from this court to accept the plea offer either. So if you want to set this case for trial, I can do that, or you can accept the state's plea offer.
I'm going to.
All right, and you're comfortable doing that today?
Sure.
You're comfortable doing that today?
Yes.
All right. Do you still have the terms? All right. So state, let me ask you this. We went through an entire colloquy, and at the end, Mr. Bickham had indicated that he was not in agreement with the terms. Do you feel we need to do another colloquy, or are you satisfied with the previous one, given that Mr. Bickham is still under oath and is indicating that he is now in agreement with all of those terms that we addressed earlier?
I'm satisfied as long as he's in agreement and doesn't need any additional time to discuss it with his counsel.
I'm in agreement.
All right, and you're 100% sure this is what you want to do,
Yes,
sir? All right, and let's go ahead and bring up the JNS. All right, Ms. Hall, Mr. Rusinga, please just double check and make sure I get it right, okay? All right, so I've got count 1 for petty theft, adjudication of guilt. There was probation, was there not?
Yes, sir.
Adjudication.
Once I hit accept and everything will pop up.
All right. If my memory serves me, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's adjudication of guilt, $220 in court costs, $150 fine, $50 public defender application fee, $50 public defender fee, $50 cost of prosecution, 6 months probation. Special conditions of probation was an order of restitution to 7-Eleven, the amount of $3.69. No trespass to 7-Eleven at the previously stated address. Count 2, adjudication of guilt, time served, no trespass to 7-Eleven at the previously stated address, composite costs. Is all of that correct?
Shoplifters alternative program.
And count 1, thank you. And count 1, additional condition is successful completion of the milepost/shoplifters alternative program. We just need to make sure that everything's correct in the computer, and then we'll update your prints, okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Just give me one moment. I'm not trying to rush you. Take your time, get it right. No, I'm serious. I'm not trying to rush you.
I did.
That is all correct. Good job. Thank you. All right.
Step over there, if you would, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. Who's next?
Francisco Cortez Cabrera. He needs the Spanish.
Very good. This is 20 CT 70. Afternoon, sir. Oh, not yet. What? I need to let him get set up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are we ready to go? All right. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
You're here for a charge of reckless driving.
I'm sorry, I'm in charge of.
I'm sorry, he's here for a charge of reckless driving.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Ms. Hall, is this a plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, the charge is leaving the scene of the crash.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was looking at I pulled up the wrong one. Thank you. Leaving the scene of a crash, thank you. And what are the terms of the plea agreement?
It is a withholding adjudication, 6 months probation, an 8-hour driver improvement course, and then costs, which would include PD costs.
Sir, do you agree to accept those terms today?
Your Honor.
Yes, sir, Mr. Cinco.
I have here, it was an adjudication and a withhold upon completion of the terms.
Yes, and remember I emailed you and asked for the withhold, I have the email, if you'd like me to forward it.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. There's going to be an adjudication of guilt that is mitigated to a withhold upon completion of conditions? Is that what you're saying, Mr. Racinko?
Yes, Your Honor.
I don't see how I'm going to do that as a sentence. I can't do that.
Okay, well,
So is it a withhold today or is it an adjudication of guilt today?
it's a withhold, Your Honor.
Okay.
My apologies, Ms. Hall, if I misplaced your email.
All right. All right. So a withhold of adjudication today. All right. So, Mr. Racinko, you're otherwise agreeing that the terms are correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Then, Mr. Cortez Quevedo, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, put your hand down, please. The state attorney is going to ask you a few questions. Go ahead, please, sir.
Thank you. Can I please get your full name and date of birth?
Francisco Cortés Quevedo, 5 Mayo 4, 1978.
Francisco Cortés Quevedo, May the 4th, 1968.
You have been charged with leaving the scene of a crash with damage, which is a second-degree misdemeanor.
I'm sorry,
I don't know.
even with the paperwork, you know.
Please repeat that, sir.
You have been charged with leaving the scene of a crash with damage, which is a second-degree misdemeanor.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Cinco.
I was waiting for him to translate.
Okay.
No, I'm doing something, so you don't have to wait.
You don't have to wait. Keep going.
Unless I can hear.
Do you understand that the maximum is 60 days in jail for that charge?
Yes.
To that charge, how do you wish to plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No, thank you.
You're going to have to learn how to say that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Cinco. He said no contest.
Was it? No. Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Do you understand the terms of the plea agreement?
Correct.
Have you read and signed a copy of the plea form?
Yes.
Do you understand all the rights listed on that form that you'll be giving up by entering this plea today?
Correct.
Are you entering into this plea because you believe it's in your own best interests?
I'm sorry. You're asking me? I didn't understand.
The question, sir, is if you believe accepting this plea deal is in your best interest.
Oh, yes, that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you. Are you currently under the influence of any drugs or alcohol?
No.
No.
Are you taking any medication?
No.
No.
Do you suffer from any mental illnesses?
No.
Have you discussed the terms of this plea agreement and the rights you are giving up with your attorney?
Excuse me? I didn't understand. I couldn't hear you very well.
Have you discussed the terms of this plea agreement and the rights you are giving up with your attorney?
Oh, yes.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's advice?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you are not a United States citizen, you may be subjected to removal or deportation as a result of this plea?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you are deported as a result of this case, it will not be the basis to withdraw this plea?
Yes.
You need any additional time to discuss any of this with counsel?
No. No.
Your Honor, the state tenders the plea.
I've reviewed the citation and find that there is a sufficient factual basis and venue. I've considered the colloquy and find the plea to be freely, knowingly, and voluntarily entered. Therefore, I will accept the plea and impose sentence as follows. Withhold adjudication, $220 in court costs. I'm sorry, $258 in court costs. $50 public defender application fee, $50 public defender fee, $50 cost of prosecution, 8-hour driver improvement school, which is a condition, of 6 months probation. And I believe I already said withhold adjudication. Was there an early termination clause? I think we missed that. All right. Is otherwise the plea, the sentence as stated correct? Good luck to you, sir. Thank you. All right. Was there anybody else? Yes, we did. We have one more. Jorge, I think we're gonna have one more. We're gonna need you to translate from the interpreter to English. We have a Quiche. So we're gonna get Quiche interpreter on the phone to go from Quiche to Spanish. Now we can do from Spanish to English. So bear with us. All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Hall, if you need a moment to talk to English times, I'm gonna take one gentleman now, Mr. Ruddy, Taylor Ruddy.
Is that all?
Yes, sir. We need your fingerprints and you're good to go. Fingerprints. All right. This is 20 CT 44. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
This is a continuation of Mr. Ruddy's motion for early termination of probation. The last time he was here, probation had indicated that they needed proof of either completion of counseling from DUI school or proof that no counseling sessions were going to be required. And Mr. Ruddy, in order to avoid having to have you pay an additional probation fee, we reset it for today. I do have a representative of probation present. Please state your name.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Nancy Montana with the Collier County Probation Office.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Has probation received a copy of either completion of the counseling sessions or otherwise documentation to establish that no counseling sessions were necessary?
Your Honor, I have not received proof that he has completed the counseling. The only thing I have is a DUI school certificate indicating that he has to follow up with counseling.
All right.
But I have not received the proof of counseling completion.
Mr. Ruddy, I know we set this kind of quickly. Do you need more time to get those documents from the provider?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have them?
I do, Your Honor.
Oh, great. Can you show them to the probation, please?
Sure can.
Thank you.
I already have that.
Yes,
See
sir.
if you change interpreter in the
Okay.
You'll have to talk to Ms. Hall. She made the arrangements.
So your appointment is
Mr.
for
Rojas.
January 5th?
Yeah, I just spoke to him, but I don't see it on the schedule for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah, but you wrote
So,
on there.
so we may not have somebody?
No, it's not, from mine didn't get, as far as the schedule, it's not in the schedule, from mine didn't get.
Will you please talk to Ms. Hall about it?
Sure, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I see the month.
Yeah.
That we just did.
All right, see what you can figure out.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
It's another beautiful day. Okay. Smile, Bill. I can tell you're not, even though you're wearing a mask.
Okay, so it seems
See,
here
squinty eyes,
that the
smiling.
city council told you to contact ATS. I
See?
assume on
I've been practicing my
Did you
masks.
contact ATS? Did you make an appointment with them to report to their office?
Yes,
Okay.
not to their office,
Okay.
obviously.
So the way that the city council does is that they give you a referral, which you have there in your hands. It's
Come on, baby.
ATS. They give you a
Take me
certain
out.
time frame that you
3
need to
weeks.
contact ATS.
Daniel Tiger, bro. Daniel
Make
Tiger.
appointments.
Daniel Tiger.
So I need proof from
Told you it was
ATS
Daniel
that
Tiger.
you completed the council.
Okay. I have that.
It's
Understand,
not there,
we'll have miscommunication.
but it's not there.
DUI phase 1 school completed,
I have that.
11/24/2020. I have treatment referral and or documentation from Southwest Florida Safety Council, 11/16. I had to complete that within the 20-day time frame, which I did.
Correct, so I need proof of that. I need proof that you contacted ATS.
We're getting there. So I did that within the 20-day time frame, signed off. Documented with the Southwest Florida Safety Council, ATS Alcoholism Treatment Services. I had the appointment made for 1/5 after the first conversation for the assessment. So that was completed. And then I also had the certificate of completion for I drive safely.
Okay,
safely
that's
for
the driving course.
Tallahassee.
That's a driving course, that's not the class that I'm speaking about.
And then I have ATS counseling.
That's the referral where they're sending you to ATS.
Right.
Yes, this was signed off. So I have everything. They're not recommending anything else. I don't know where you're
This is
looking for.
stating here that you are to provide ongoing treatment. This was provided to you by the city council indicating that you have to follow up with counseling.
Yeah, I did so.
Okay, that's what I need.
Right, Mr. Roddy, this is where we were last week.
Yeah, I have proof of our appointment.
No, you
I'm
need
following the
proof.
recommendations of the probation. The
Sir,
actual stipulation is to terminate probation today.
no, upon proof of completion of the recommended treatment.
Yeah, there's, showing all the paperwork, there's no additional requirements. I'm following your recommendations. So the recommendations are all outlined here in a time frame.
When you went to the, sir, I explained this last week, I'll try again. When you went to the DUI school, which is one of the things you had to do, they will either make a recommendation of additional counseling and treatment, or they will say no additional counseling or treatment is necessary. In this case, they have said there is a recommendation for additional treatment and counseling. When you successfully complete however many sessions of additional and counseling they require, when you have completed what they determine is appropriate, they will send a certificate, they'll give you a certificate, which you can then provide to probation saying, this treatment has been completed. That is the one thing we do not have.
So Judge, are you ordering that I have additional counseling after all these counseling sessions?
I'm ordering that you comply with the original sentence, which was you
I
had to
did
do
not
the,
recommend that, Judge.
I can take a look at what the
I
original
got
sentence
that.
was.
I got them to forward the paperwork this morning. They're supposed to get it to the Florida Southwest Safety Council. He could neither agree or disagree with further counseling. It was going to be in the hands of the Florida Southwest Safety Council or yourself, Judge.
I don't make that determination.
Who does, Your Honor?
The provider, the treatment provider.
Okay. Well, I had the appointment with them, which I stated last week, for 11 minutes on a telephone call.
Okay.
I have that stated here. That was a doctor.
Okay.
Okay, that was the assessment.
Yes,
So I completed that within the 20-day time frame.
okay,
Okay? That the Florida Southwest Safety Council has required me to do so. I completed that. I had the appointment January 5th with Mr. Carlos Molizo Sr.
okay.
We went over paperwork. We had our session. After that session, he either confirmed or denied that I need further counseling.
Well, they have to do that. They have to either hand you a certificate saying that your counseling sessions are completed or continue with counseling.
This is where I'm having a miscommunication with everyone in the department who's handling this case. So I'm going over this once more time.
I understand you, sir.
So I have.
But I feel that you're not understanding what I'm telling
Can I
you.
go over this, Ron?
No, I understand exactly what you're saying. What I'm telling you is, you must provide proof that all recommended counseling sessions have been completed to probation. Until that is provided, you shall remain on probation. That is a required term that must be completed.
I'm not sure what you're asking, Your Honor.
You need to get a piece of paper that says you finished all of your counseling sessions and hand it to probation.
And I did so yesterday.
Where is
I got
it?
the paperwork this morning stating the counselor could neither confirm or deny that I need further counseling. So what does that tell all of us?
I have no idea. I've never heard
Okay,
of that
so
before.
the paperwork that I received states I
Let me
followed
ask
the
probation,
appointments.
do you have a piece of paper that says that they can neither recommend nor state that there is no, that they can neither say that there is or is not a requirement for continued treatment?
Your Honor, I have not received such a paper.
Do you have that paper with you? That says that they cannot render an opinion as to whether or not additional counseling sessions are necessary?
The Florida Southwest Safety Council
Yes,
required me to make an appointment within 20 days
I understand.
with ATS or other providers. I did so. I had the first free assessment for 11 minutes on a telephone call.
At Florida, at ATS?
With ATS.
Okay.
And then they made the appointment for January 5th after ongoing back and forth talks
Okay.
with miscommunication. I finished the DUI phase 1 school, which also had evaluation completion. I did the hardship for my license in Miami. They agreed that I could have my hardship license.
Okay.
That was an evaluation.
It's
I
not,
completed those, and then I went with ATS, Your Honor, and they said I could never either confirm or deny ongoing.
there's the
recommendation.
evaluation, and then there's treatment. They recommended treatment. Therefore, you must complete the treatment in order to terminate your probation.
Okay,
I'm not sure what's unclear about that.
very clear, Your Honor.
Are you sure?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Would you like me to reschedule this hearing to terminate your probation?
What would you like me to do, Your Honor?
I'd like you to finish your probation.
Till March?
No, till whenever you complete your conditions.
And what are my conditions, Your Honor?
To complete the counseling sessions,
And
whatever.
if they can either confirm or deny additional counseling sessions. what
I've
would you like me
never,
to do, Your Honor? Get
sir,
a piece of paper?
Sir, I've been
Statement?
practicing criminal law for 15 years, both as a prosecutor, a defense attorney, and now as a judge. And my entire career, I've never, ever heard of a service provider who says, we cannot tell you whether or not you've completed or not. That's never happened in 15 years and the thousands of DUI cases that I've handled. They have to be able to put in writing whether or not either you completed it or you didn't, right? They have to be able to tell you whether or not you're done or not, and put that in writing that you can hand to probation. That's what you need to get. You understand?
You want me to get the paperwork from ATS?
Saying that you're
Florida
done.
Southwest Safety Council stating they can either confirm or
No.
deny additional counseling.
No.
What would you like me to do now?
They need to put in paper, you've done all the counseling that you're supposed to do. I don't know what's unclear about that. I really don't.
They are stating on this paperwork that I've completed the counseling required. It is up to
Did
the
they?
courts
You saw it.
to say
Does
if
it?
I
Excuse
did
me,
so
sir.
or not.
One moment, sir. You saw it.
Your
Does
Honor,
it say that there's no more counseling required?
what he has in those documents, there is the DUI school certificate, which reflects that there was treatment required.
Right.
As well as documents from the Florida Safety Council stating that he was referred to ATS counseling for further counseling. The second document reflects that he has to contact ATS within 20 days from the completion of the DUI.
I think I need you to check mark off the actual protocol of me following the.
I was speaking.
Sir, sir, let her finish, please.
Right.
Let her finish.
I think we need to do that because
Sir?
we're talking. But
Sir, I'm asking you to please stop interrupting her, and you really need not interrupt me.
Yes, sir.
Just hold on, please finish.
And the second document, which was from the Florida Safety Council, stated that he had 20 days to contact ATS counseling. Those are the documents that he has there, and
All
I
right,
think there was a certificate for a driving course,
right.
which is not ATS counseling.
So, Sarah, listen, I can understand that you're frustrated, but this is what needs to happen. They have to be able to give you a piece of paper that says that you're done. And if the service provider for the counseling is ATS, then that's who you need to talk to, who can say no more counseling sessions are required. They should be able to put that on a piece of paper that you can then hand to probation.
Absolutely, Your Honor.
All right?
They can neither, I just want to put this on record.
Okay.
They can neither confirm or deny that I need additional counseling. So that is what I'm going to be requesting.
So like I said,
That is comments on the actual documentation that I can provide to Ms. Manuano and yourself, Judge Brown.
if they're going to provide a document that says that they can neither recommend additional treatment or not, they can either say you've completed your treatment or not, by all means, have that put on a piece of paper, and I imagine probation can review that and possibly even contact the provider and find out what on earth that means, because I've never heard of that before.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, please.
When the DUI school counseling agency does an evaluation, the evaluation is to determine if there's any need for alcohol or drug classes.
Yes.
That's what they are establishing.
Yes.
They determine which agency they will send the client to which this case he was referred to ATS counseling. ATS counseling is a second evaluation that will determine how many counseling sessions he has to do. So that is where we're at. We need a second evaluation based off of ATS who will let us know how many sessions Mr. Rudai would have to complete. Furthermore, he would have to complete those required sessions.
All right, that's what I'm trying to tell you, sir. That ATS will say you have to do X number of counseling sessions. And then if you've done them, they will hand you a certificate saying that you've completed it. That certificate goes to probation, and then you're done.
Okay, Your Honor. I still don't understand where the miscommunication is.
Neither do I.
ATS counseling in Fort Myers, they stated on 1/5/2021 that they can neither confirm or deny that I need further counseling.
And they told you that over the phone, or did they put that in writing?
With our first session, after the first assessment with the doctor that I spoke with for 11 minutes on the telephone call.
Please answer my question. Did they tell you that on the phone, or did they put that in writing?
The meeting was via Zoom.
No.
I also went.
The statement that they cannot say whether or not you need any further counseling, was that told to you over the phone, or is that put in writing?
Your Honor, the paperwork that we filled out.
Answer my question. Was
It's
that over the
sent to
phone, or was that in
Florida
writing?
Southwest Council.
Sir, answer my question. Did they tell you that over the phone, or did they put that in writing for you? If they put it in writing, give it to probation.
Florida Southwest Safety Council will have that
No,
in their
ATS.
records,
ATS.
which provides the Florida Southwest Safety Council.
Sir, let me put it to you as simply as I possibly can. You shall remain on probation until you either provide a certificate saying that you have completed your counseling, or that no additional counseling is required, and that must be provided probation. This hearing is now concluded. If you're ready to go forward with a motion to terminate probation, contact my judicial assistant. I'll be happy to schedule it for you. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Some of the days.
Denied.
You're good to go, so you don't need anything further.
Nope.
Okay.
You're good to go. All right. Is all you ready? All right. Yes, thank you for coming down. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
Can we do Mitchell McClellan, Your Honor? This is David Wilson's case, but,
Sure.
I'm covering for him today.
No problem. What was this
Okay,
gentleman's name? This is
20
Mr. McClellan. This is 20 CT 1188. Mr. McClellan, I'm sure Ms. Hall explained to you, your attorney was in a car accident earlier this week, and so he wasn't able to come to court. So, Ms. Hall, are you able to proceed with it, or do you need a continuance? So,
I can proceed, Your Honor.
very good. All right, no problem.
Okay, Mr. McClellan today is going to be withdrawing his previously entered plea of not guilty, and he's going to be entering a plea of no contest. The terms of which are that the state has agreed to amend the charge to a reckless driving, 6 months probation, DUI school level 1, substance abuse evaluation, a $250 fine, court costs, cost of prosecution, and the PDP, and probation is to terminate automatically upon completion of conditions and to run concurrent CF 895.
All right. Mr. Cinco, did you hear that? And can you agree that that is the plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Mitchell, are you prepared to accept those terms at this time?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Mr. Cinco, do you have an amendment you'd like to do at this time?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, the state would like to amend the charges in 20 CT 1188 to reckless driving.
316.192.
316.192.
Got there first. All right, sir, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, put your hand down, please. The state attorney is going to ask you a few questions. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, can I please get your full name and date of birth?
Mitchell McClellan, 04/21/1981.
Sir, my apologies. 1 second. My apologies. I'm sorry for the delay, Your Honor.
No problem.
Okay, sir, you have been charged with reckless driving, which is a second-degree misdemeanor. Do you understand that the maximum for that charge is 60 days in jail?
Yes, sir.
To that charge, how do you wish to plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Do you understand the terms of the plea agreement?
Yes, sir.
Have you read and signed a copy of the plea form?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand all of the rights that are listed on that form that you'll be giving up by entering this plea today?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering into this plea because you believe it's in your own best interests?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs or alcohol?
No, sir.
Are you taking any medication?
No, sir.
Do you suffer from any mental illnesses?
No, sir.
Have you discussed the terms of this plea agreement and the rights you're giving up with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's advice?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you will have, do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, you may be subjected to removal or deportation as a result of this plea?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that if you are deported as a result of this case, it will not be the basis to withdraw this plea?
Yes, I understand.
Do you need any additional time to discuss any of this with counsel?
Just have one question. It said termination probation upon completion of the evaluation. That's on that mean like, finish my evaluation. The evaluation that they wanted me to do.
Corporal. No? Okay, good.
That's fine, yeah, I understand.
Please continue, sir.
Thank you. Do you understand that reckless driving is an enhanceable crime, meaning that if you commit this crime again in the future, you could receive more jail or prison time, a higher fine, and or longer driver's license revocation period?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, the state tenders the plea.
I have reviewed the probable cause affidavit. I do find that there is a sufficient factual basis and venue. I have considered the call plea and find the plea to be freely, knowingly, and voluntarily entered. Therefore, I will accept the plea and impose sentence as follows. To the amended charge of reckless driving, adjudication of guilt, $323 in court costs, $250 fine, $50 public defender fee, $50 cost of prosecution, 6 months probation. Special conditions of probation are as follows. You must attend and successfully complete the DUI school, appropriate phase, and any recommended treatment to cover that. You must do a substance abuse evaluation. All right. This is to run concurrent with 20 CF 895. And probation, it shall terminate. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes, sir.
Mr. Rasinga, that's correct. Shall term upon successful completion of conditions?
Correct, Your Honor.
Shall terminate upon successful completion of conditions. And state, I did have a chance to review the DC affidavit in its entirety. The amendment and the shall terminate, I assume, were because of the state feels it's in its best interest to make the plea offer at this time.
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Good luck to you, sir. Thank you.
Step over there, show the fingerprint, please.
All right, who's next?
Sebastian Salazar, 20CT-122.
Good afternoon, Mr. Salazar. This is 20CT-122. So we're here for a charge of driving while license suspended.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Hall?
He's going to be withdrawing his previously entered plea of not guilty and entering a plea of no contest. The terms of which are an adjudication of guilt, a $250 fine, and all costs, which includes the trial.
All right. And that's as charged?
Okay.
This appears to be a third within 5. Was that discussed?
I believe so.
I see a civil citation conviction for driving while license suspended. The conviction was March 21st of 16. And then there was a criminal conviction April 6th of 16. So this would be number 3. And you discussed the habitual offender status with your client?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So you understand, sir, the DHS&B, as a result of this conviction, is going to revoke your license for a period of 5 years and designate you a habitual traffic offender. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that if you get caught driving in while in that status, you could be charged with a 3rd-degree felon.
I understand.
All right. Knowing that, do you still want to go forward with your plea today?
Yes.
All right. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right. Put your hand down, please. State.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can I please get your full name and date of birth?
Sebastian Salazar, August 4th, 1992.
You have been charged with driving while your license is suspended or revoked, the second offense, which is a 1st-degree misdemeanor. Do you understand that the maximum for that charge is 1 year in jail?
Yes, sir.
To that charge, how do you wish to plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Do you understand the terms of the plea agreement?
Yes, sir.
Have you read and signed a copy of the plea form?
Yes, sir.
You understand all of the rights that are listed on that form you'll be giving up by entering this plea today?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering into this plea because you believe it's in your own best interests?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs or alcohol?
No, sir.
Are you taking any medication?
Yes.
Are you taking the medication as prescribed?
Yes.
Have you taken it today?
Yes.
Does it affect your ability to understand these proceedings?
No. No,
Do you suffer from any mental illnesses?
no, sir.
Have you discussed the terms of this plea agreement and the rights you're giving up with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's advice?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, you may be subjected to removal or deportation as a result of this plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if you are deported as a result of this case, it will not be the basis to withdraw this plea?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand, do you need any additional time to discuss any of this with counsel?
No, sir.
Do you understand that driving while your license is suspended or revoked is an enhanceable crime, meaning that if you commit this crime again in the future, you could receive more jail time or prison time, a higher fine, and or longer driver's license revocation period?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand that this conviction could serve as a basis for additional suspension of your license by the DMV?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, the state tenders this plea.
I have reviewed the citation. I do find that there's a sufficient factual basis and venue. I've considered the colloquy and find the plea to be freely, knowingly, and voluntarily entered. And so, we've been continuing this for quite some time, but you did not want to try to obtain a valid license if you don't feel that you can do so?
I mean, honestly, I would really like to, but I can afford it. I can afford all that money right now. That's true.
All right.
And I understand that I'm able to drive from 33 years old. So I'll just take that plea and I'll be done with it.
All right. You're sure this is what you want to do then today?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Hall, you can discuss the possibilities of a hardship permit with your client after we're done. All right. All right. Then I will go ahead and accept the plea at this time. And impose sentence as follows. Adjudication of guilt, $220 in court costs, $250 fine, $50 public defender application fee, $50 public defender fee, $50 cost of prosecution, 90 days to pay. Good luck to you, sir. Take care, all right?
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, thank you.
Take care, Mr. Salazar.
Thank you.
All right, who's next, please? Good afternoon, sir. This is 20MM1355. Yes, ma'am.
He's going to be withdrawing his previously entered plea of not guilty and entering a plea of no contest, the terms of which are 30 days in jail with credit for time served, 12 months probation, no early termination, anger management class, for administrative costs including $842, excuse me, cost investigation for sheriff's office, and court costs to include public and
Mr. Cinco, did you catch all that?
I missed a few things. I have 12 months probation, no early termination, 30 days jail, credit time served as a condition of probation, anger management, court costs, cost of prosecution and investigation, $842.
Is that everything? All right. Has the 30 days already been served in its entirety? So you'll be turning yourself in today, is that correct? Ms. Hall, when that's going to happen, you have to let our bailiffs know.
Is there anyone in home that is relevant?
Yes, sir.
Is there any way you could find out, how much credit time do I have?
Your attorney can figure that out for you, sir. It just, I don't want to tell you something and have it be incorrect. Are they going to bring somebody up? Bill? Oh.
Just come in, I'll explain when you get in.
You have to let them know so we can have people to transport them in.
Not an emergency, I just need to go to the bathroom. Then
it's all right. Backup has arrived. Oh. That'll make you nervous, sir. It's just they need other personnel to assist you with that, okay? But you're ready to go ahead and go into the jail today upon the court's acceptance of the plea?
No.
All right, very good. All right, would you please raise your right hand, sir? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right, put your hand down, please. Before we begin, Mr. Senka, was the victim contacted in this case, and did he or she approve of the terms of this plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. State's going to inquire at this time.
Sir, can I please get your full name and date of birth?
Age, 8/14/1990.
Sir, you've been charged with battery. Do you understand that the maximum for that penalty for that charge is 1 year in county jail?
Yes.
To that charge, how do you wish to plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
He said no contest, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Do you understand the terms of the plea agreement?
Yes.
Have you read and signed a copy of the plea form?
Yes.
Do you understand all of the rights listed on that form you'll be giving up by entering this plea today?
Yes, I do.
Are you entering into this plea because you believe it's in your own best interests?
Yes.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs or alcohol?
No.
Are you taking any medication?
No.
Do you suffer from any mental illnesses?
No.
Have you discussed the terms of this plea agreement and the rights you're giving up with your attorney?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's advice?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you are not a United States citizen, you may be subjected to removal or deportation as a result of this plea?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you are deported as a result of this case, it will not be the basis to withdraw this plea?
Yes.
Do you need any additional time to discuss any of this with counsel?
No.
Do you understand that battery is an enhanceable crime, meaning that if you commit this crime again in the future, you could receive more jail or prison time, a higher fine, and/or a longer driver's license revocation period?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state tenders the plea.
All right, I have reviewed the probable cause affidavit. I do find that there is a sufficient factual basis and venue. I've considered the colloquy and find the plea to be freely, knowingly, and voluntarily entered. Therefore, I will accept the plea and impose sentence as follows. For the charge of battery, adjudication of guilt, $572 in court costs, $50 public defender application fee, $50 public defender fee, $50 cost of prosecution, $842 cost of investigation payable to the Collier County Sheriff's Office, 12 months of probation. You're agreeing to not petition the court for any early termination of probation. Special conditions of probation are as follows: 30 days in the Collier County Jail with credit for all time served. Additional conditions: you must attend a successfully complete an anger management course. And I believe that's all the conditions, but I did not already say so. Adjudication of guilt on the charge. And I'm sorry, State, I missed it. You did cover enhanceability, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. All right, good luck to you, sir. Take care. You're good.
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Shemaiah Warren, 19 MM 1244.
All right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, we're here for a charge of petty theft. Yes, Ms. Hall.
Yes, this is.
Sure. Then you need to go over that document. If you have any questions about it, make sure you ask them of your attorney before we go forward. Those are your rights, and it's important that you understand them, okay? All right, have a seat for just a moment and go ahead and read that form. Thank you, ma'am.
And then two left in the courtroom, that one, the one starting to stand over
Any left?
I can go over the other.
I was never asked to contact Jill on temporary.
talk to my.
Max is not, there was an email I was sent from like Fort Myers, where we did it on your.
I must have missed it.
Yeah, he's not available until further notice, so they're asking everybody to be fine. That's all I'm doing.
All right, there's two ways we can do this. I can try to do this with language line, or I can reset it with the hopes that, you know, we'll get Max back, you know, in the not too distant future. What would you like to do?
I don't have any problem with language line now, but just before we do the.
Sure. I'll tell you what, why don't you go ahead, and if you need a moment to speak with Ms. Warren, that's fine.
No, I'm sorry, Your Honor, I got confused. We're just gonna be continuing this, but for cases of diversion bailout, we need information that should continue.
Oh, all right, very good. So, Mr. Rosick, I don't know if you caught all of that?
I missed some parts, if you wouldn't mind recapping.
We're recalling Shamaya Warren's case, 19 MM 1244. This hall just indicated that this was a diversion case that was not successfully completed, and that all things have now been completed. So Ms. Hall would like to be able to reach out to your office to try to discuss if that changes the circumstances at all.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
All right. So Ms. Hall, what I can do is I can continue this to the 28th, I believe, is my PD pretrial docket at 9 o'clock. And then we'll see where things stand, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, man. Take care. Just need to sign for your court date, please.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to go through people that are not here and not here?
We can do that. Let's do this. The rest of the docket, except for these two folks here who are not coming, right? You don't expect them to be here? You don't expect them to be here? All right. So let's do this. Let's take care of these two gentlemen first, and then we can go down that list, okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right, let me speak in and outside of the.
Sure. In the meantime, there's one other case we can address, Mr. Vasinko. 20 MM 1251, Karen Hofert.
Leave it alone.
So here's the deal. Ms. Hofert was represented by a gentleman named Mr. Infirmi. Neither defendant nor attorney were present at the last two pretrials, even via Zoom. I had asked my judicial assistant to reach out to Mr. Infirma to let him know he must appear because he had missed court twice. He will not be appearing. The Supreme Court of the state of Florida has issued an emergency suspension on his ability to practice law.
Oh, okay.
So he's not coming, and nor should he. I was hoping Ms. Hofert might have gotten notice of today's hearing, so we could see what she would like to do. But if she wants counsel, she's going to have to obtain new counsel.
Okay.
So I obviously I need to continue the case. I'm not prepared to issue a bench warrant at this time because I don't know if Ms. Hofert received notice properly of today's hearing.
No, understandable, Your Honor.
Now the notices to appear have not been returned to us, and she's local. So I'm not entirely sure how to proceed.
Could we set it for another in person? And at that point, if her attorney's been suspended, she wasn't offered an opportunity to discuss anything with him, I would.
Yeah, I don't know what, if anything, has been communicated to her about the status of her case. One of the allegations by the bar against Mr. Inferno was that he failed to communicate with clients.
Ultimately, we'll need her presence, but
obviously, but
if you are willing to set it for another in-person docket, we can address at that point if we don't hear from her.
Yes, please. Let's do that. Let's set it for a pretrial conference, please, on January 28th at 9 o'clock. If you can make it clear as much as possible in big bold letters as to put on notice, do that. Defendant is ordered to appear. And send it just to her. Do not send it to counsel. He is.
I'm not sure, once I do it automatically email.
That's fine. That's fine. I just immediately need to mail it separately to counsel, but the emails automatically through the e-service.
As soon as I hit okay, well,
That's fine. And I hope she responds to the next one. I'm not sure if any other communication by the court would be appropriate at this time to Ms. Hofer to let her know she's not currently represented. I don't know if we have any other contact information. Certainly the state attorney's office cannot reach out to her.
Correct, Your Honor.
For obvious reasons. Let's see if she provided any other contact information. She doesn't have a bonds person because this was a notice to appear. So no bondsman. Oh boy. All right. We actually do have a telephone number on the notice to appear. State, unless you object, I might ask my judicial assistant to simply call her just to inform her that she needs to appear in person at the next court date. Do you have an objection to me doing that?
No objection, Your Honor.
Obviously, I won't be on the call. I will not have Sarah discuss anything beyond that to avoid any ex parte communication. It would just be a scheduling call to make sure she understands she needs to appear.
No objection, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. I'll do that. I'll have Sarah give her a call. Just say, please show up. All right, and the rest we'll need to wait for Ms. Hall. Did you get your car?
Yeah, I'll tell you about it. I'm working on it.
What's that?
I'm working on
You're working on building it?
I saw your car. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Exactly where I'm pretty much going the same direction.
You have good taste.
Yeah. And okay. Just some things here and there to figure out.
Did you go with the big engine or no?
Sorry?
You're gonna go with the big engine or no?
That's what I got to figure out. I got to figure out. But
you'll be stunned how fast it is that you get the big engine.
What I'm doing
You
is
know all drive?
Mine? Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna do it all.
It's
He was trying to talk me out of it, but
no,
I still understand why, I mean, you're getting hard.
you know, it could snow.
Yeah, where you're visiting.
I mean,
No, here's really all we're going to do. The traction on the thing is just amazing, right? There's that, and then of course, when it does rain, like really rain like it does in Florida sometimes, and you go into some pretty big puddles, I don't know, there's a certain comfort in having all-wheel drive. Well, I'll be honest with you, my truck doesn't have it. My truck is two-wheel drive. So
I'm gonna go back and forth. Certain things are not necessary. Certain things might be, wireless charging for things.
well, that comes with the car no matter what, doesn't it?
No.
Really? Oh.
But the other thing that would take out the same. And initially it was the white, but my
Looks good in white.
that no, I think that black, that brown cognac with that. I think the blue. I'm not sure if it's the same blue. Mine's called Platonic blue.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I think you'll enjoy it.
But it's a lot of back and forth to make sure. You know, when you work with the building, with the builder online, it kind of takes away things and you get things. So I actually, you know, like we have the Apple jeans. They have their own version of that. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah.
And they'll help you see clear certain things. But kind of where I am. But I'm gonna probably take possession of it at the performance center.
Okay.
They have a whole experience. Believe it or not, we fly you out.
Really?
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. They don't.
What?
YouTube.
I know.
Okay. For our sake.
Oh. All right, we're gonna go off the record for this one. No, we're still on. It's okay. I'm not going away, Mr. Sink. I'm just going off YouTube for a moment.